Welcome Facebook, welcome YouTube. Today we're going to talk about saving $100,000 when buying a solar home. We're going to start off using Zillow. We may get better than that. That's not really the point. But I want to show you the multiple ways. I've been talking about this for a while, and I wanted to show you multiple ways you can save a solar 5-10% of the price of your home, at least when you're shopping for solar homes. And certain solar homes are going to represent that kind of value. And then I'm going to tell you what your next steps are, what you can do about it. And I think you should get started right away. I mean, right now, a lot of homes just went on the market in San Diego. The market is still pretty strong. There's a lot of buyers that are going out. We saw prices starting to rise again after slowing down a little in the fall. And this is the best time to do this. I mean, just, anytime you can do it, you should get started on this. And there's the comfort if you find a solar home in your price range you're interested in, and you're getting that solar home free and clear of the loans or a lease, the comfort because you're going to be getting a home that could be 5 or 10% undervalued. And I'm going to show you why. But first, we're going to use an example with Zillow. So this is what you do. You go to, let's say your target's Poway or any place that's sunny. The coast, you might not see as many homes with solar panels, although, again, my wife noticed it today. Their solar panels are all over Poway, all over inland, and they're starting to go up. There's areas when you're driving through Carlsbad, when we go to visit my mom and my brother, and let's say you have a little bit of you're on top of a hill. You're looking down. You see solar panels everywhere. The MLS, when I've checked it in Carlsbad, usually has between 10 and 15% solar, but I think the newer homes have solar, and more are going to be coming on the market all the time. At least that's my prediction, seeing the density increase. So anyway, I'm gonna show you a couple things here. Okay, so you go to Zillow and you type in Poway. Hopefully you hit there and it'll show up again. Okay, so here are, so a little slow right now because my computer's going while I'm taping this. So Poway, they've got 154 homes for sale. For comparison's sake, let me just, you don't see that yet, so I'm glad I remembered this. Okay, so here's Zillow. That's Poway, California's homes for sale. Let me just go to our MLS. I'm going to search residential. Wow, this is slow. Okay, so now I use zip code 92064 since this is Poway's zip code. It's got 101 homes for sale. Now, what happens when I go down here and I put in solar panels? Now, there can be thermal solar for pools, and there's other types of solar solar systems. But generally, I know as an agent, when you're going in, you're talking about the amenities, and your clients are wanting to get their value back because they paid for the panels. You're going to remember to put it in here. So there's 20. So just 19 point something% of the homes for sale in Poway right now have solar panels, and that's pretty common. I expect to see more as the season goes on. Okay, now Zillow's got, I don't know how they got 154 homes for sale because I have it just by agent. And they might be not keeping up. We've had a lot of sales lately. And when I go to solar panels, and I'll tell you why this happens, because this means that the agents probably typed in, normally when they search keywords, they're searching the descriptions. And maybe, let's count them, there's 7, maybe 13 agents left solar panels out of their description. Unlikely, but this happens on all the websites. So this is a great place to start, but this is why there's so much opportunity for you, the home buyer. It's hard to find solar homes unless you're working with an agent that can go in their MLS, find out what you want, produce the results, send them to you, and that's really the way to go. I mean, that's what I would be doing if I were you. I'd be calling me. You go to winnerscheck.com, set up a free consult with me. We'll do it fast. I'll find out your goals. We'll set you up. We'll talk about the opportunity you have working with me or why you'd want to work with one of our solar expert home realtors. Alternatively, if you want to deal with the listing agents directly and you want to do a little bit of the work yourself, I can save you another 2 to 3% on the purchase if you're willing to do the work calling these agents directly. And I'll give you the scripts. I'll give you some forms with my office. I've got to see if you qualify the program. I've got to feel comfortable giving you referral forms with my name on them and my contact, and we'll have directions for that agent to send them back to me and you. But we have to see if you're comfortable representing what we're going to need to represent. But if you are, if we work together and you are, and it doesn't even have to be a solar home, we can just save you 2 or 3% right there. But let's start with the solar home process. At winnerscheck.com. You just click on the link. Don't even worry about the video because this is going to be just as good. It's going to be faster. And you can set up a consult with me and boom. And if there's not a time that you like now, set up the furthest one out. And you can leave a little note saying, I need a time at a different time. And I'll send you a text and we'll figure out a different time. Okay, so anyhow. So we see there's 7 solar homes. Poway. Did I type in solar panels? Oh. Okay, well that's a lot close. Oh, but that's not just Poway, I guess. Let's go Poway again. Let's see if it gives us Poway. And then let's go solar and let's see what happens. Solar panels. Apply. 7. Okay, now let's pick on this one only because I know what the likelihood. I'm very familiar with 2,364 square feet. I live in 2,300 square feet, about that number actually in Poway, and I have a pool, and mine's not 2 stories, so there might be a little difference there. But if you've got a few kids, you're likely to have $400 or $500 a month. We have $500 a month bills, and this is pretty common. Like if you're in Carlsbad, you're gonna have more. You're gonna spend more money maybe on heat during the winter, a little less on electricity in the summer. And sometimes the heat's not electric. I understand that, but so $500 a month year-round average on electricity is probably pretty comfortable. Maybe a house has to be a little bit bigger. But anyway, it's $900,000. This estimate says it's $884. Now, we have inside our course, or if you're telling me, and I'll give you access to the course if you call me up, we have the best home value calculator, period, that I found because it's from CoreLogic and it uses MLS and tax data, and it works all over the country. Although I can't speak to the MLS and the tax data everywhere else. But when I've used it with friends and families or when I've had homes in other areas, it's the most accurate. It uses CoreLogic algos. Now, so here we're looking at just about this estimate. I mean, that gives them a little room for negotiation. It's 4-bedroom, 4-bath. And let's see if I can pull up the map. Okay, so it's around the corner on. Okay, so I know the area too. I said it was on Twin Peaks, right? And Twin Peaks is right near where my kids go to school. I don't see where it is on the map. That's where my daughter plays soccer. All right, so anyway, I don't. Their map didn't really work out for me very well. Okay, but now let's go to the point. So here we see, if I remember looking at this, because I was looking at it the other night, 35 solar panels for little to no electric bill. And I believe our 35 solar panels are great unless they're super inefficient. And so that means you could be saving $400 to $500 a month in savings. Now, what does that mean? So anyway, what have we learned so far? We've learned there's 20 homes in Poway that have solar panels. Zillow has it at 7. We've learned that this house is $900,000, somewhere near the estimate. We can get the fair market value. You can go to experthomeprices.com and get it that way. But let's just work off of this. I like the price with a pool. I'd have to see on that map exactly where it's located, but it looks nice. It's got a pool. Generally the thought is when you have solar panels in the house, your home should be worth about 3% more in terms of the actual value. And so we're looking good at from a negotiating position. Now, if you go there and you don't like something about that the pictures aren't showing or you don't get the right feel, you just don't consider the home. But if it's in your price range, so far, I'd be liking the value, right? I'd certainly put it in consideration. Now, let me talk to you about the actual value of this home. Okay, so I typed it in to save you time. I went to Energy Sage, and I typed it in, and let's assume that you negotiate to make sure those panels come with the house, and you're not picking up a loan, and they already said you're not picking, I think it already said in there, you're not picking up the lease. So you're not paying anything extra, which is negotiable if you did. Leases are a great situation because they make the home harder to sell. So if you qualify, it could give you a discount on the home, and you might capture some of the money back that way. But anyway, they're saying that if you pay $28,000, you could pay $28,000, and I put in $400 a month in electricity savings on this home, and I think that's conservative based on my experience. They say you get 3% year increase in property value. The net cost is $28,000. The 5-year payback on your savings is, well, they're saying you get paid back in 5 years, and 20-year net savings is $97,000. Now, if it's a good solar panel system, at the 20-year mark, it's still going to be 85% efficient with the panels that I was looking at when I bought a home, when I bought our solar panels and put them on our home about a year ago. So that is actually $97,000 savings over 20 years conservatively, just by getting the home in there. Now, incidentally, if you're looking at $100,000 savings, because this is how my solar home Delta, which I put a trademark on, the solar home Delta, the technical one is we look at the time value of money, we consider the degradation of the panels, we project an increase of electricity prices. But I think that all washes away by just doing this in our approximate solar home Delta. You look at the energy savings that you're achieving now. Let's say it's $400 a month, very conservatively. We type in, let's go to a mortgage calculator, and normally when I type this in, Zillow pulls up that one, and I do this. You can see I've done this a few times. Let's say it's 4.35 right now. So that would be 500. So let's say what 80,000 comes out to right now. And remember, I think that 500 a month is pretty conservative. That's $400 a month. So that's an $80,000 savings on, or if you're using a mortgage, this would entitle you to buy an $80,000 more house. The savings you're seeing on the electricity, you calculate it another way, it's $85,000 over 20 years. And where did Zillow go? Okay, let's bring Zillow back up. And Zillow says, I'm sorry, that's not Zillow. And Zillow says it's a $900,000 home. Right now, this is the home we picked. And Zillow's estimate is $884. So let's just say the fair market value is $884. Or let's say you get the house for $884, and you're saving $400 a month in electricity. You're really getting a $960,000 house in value because you're saving that money in rent. So I think that's a great place to start. Now, what makes... Why isn't the market recognizing this? You know, if you start studying economics in college, there's a concept of there is a efficient market hypothesis. Whether it's in the stock market, you would think with all the turnover in real estate, it should happen there, especially with all these new models where people are like saying, "Hey, we'll buy your home." Why is this apparent anomaly sitting here? And I'm telling you, it's always there. Not on every house, but time after time on house after house. And I even like it when there's leases. As I said, because then I've tried to sell homes with solar leases on them. I have sold homes for solar leases with people, and it used to be very difficult to get people qualified. Now the leasing companies are claiming it's easier now. I'm not so sure, but that shrinks up the buyer pool. So you're going to probably sell the house for a little less when there's a lease on it. The data I have. Oh yeah, let me just show you. The data on my website shows you that if you're selling a home with a lease, you don't get the 3%. So I have a whole course. This I made for realtors. I'm making the realtor one available to people who give me a call and you talk to me. And here's some of the training: introduction to solar homes, results of selling a solar home, pricing a solar home, marketing a solar home lease article from the LA Times. Like, this is pretty interesting. Let me see if I can pull this up right now. All right. I would have to let me just pull it over the hard way. Since we are trying to cover everything, let me go, if I can preview this page. Let me do this. Boom. Oh, I can just go to it. So, leased solar panels can complicate or kill a home sale. This is why it's an opportunity for you as a buyer. If you qualify, if you've got that strong buyer that a leasing company wants to work with, you can get the home cheaper, and that can make up for the fact that I'm telling you, if you get the whole solar panels outright, you're going to get a $80,000 to $100,000 savings on a $400-500 a month bill. And for luxury people, a lot of luxury homes, a lot of pool homes in Poway have panels on them where you could be saving $700, $800 a month. So now you're looking at like $120,000, $130,000 value in savings. So I should have turned this off. Sorry about that. Now let me see if I can introduce, if I can go back to my website and find something useful to explain the questions that we want to ask. Appraising a solar home, check for updates in the law, true cost of solar worksheet. Well, let's see if I go over. Oh, well, okay, so the disclosures. I have a whole section on why the disclosures for the home seller are important and why, and I give a suggestion model for how they should be. When you're working with me, we can elicit that information from the seller because you don't want to buy in a lawsuit. I know because realtors have called me up, they've made mistakes. We don't have good disclosures in California, in my opinion, from the California Association on homes, on home sellers. So I give training on this. So solar lease, or so here's a solar lease addendum, solar home California notice for association. So, well, I don't want to go into it right now because I have to pull it. I have to do the same thing you just saw. But anyway, we are going to help why you'd want to work with me is because I'm going to show the listing agents, because I'm a homeowner, I'm a solar home expert. I've trained another realtor. I'm training realtors on this, that we're going to help them with their disclosures because we want the information from you. We're going to help get all the information they have about the panels, the leases, the warranties, whether they transfer. While we're getting the information, and I explain, hey, we're really helping you, and if you don't sell it to us, you can, you'll have it there for other people if you don't have it already. And believe me, plenty of people do not already have it already. Solar home brokers are, the brokers are throttling some of their agents, I know from experience, about making statements because they don't want to get sued. Well, we're going to help them, and while we're developing a rapport with them, they're going to have an affinity and say, hey, I think you want to work with this buyer, so I can help you get these homes for an even better value. If there's not if you're competing against other buyers, we're going to likely win. You might not even have to make the best bid because we're going to make it easy for the seller and the agent. And that might happen to $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 range. If we're up in the $1 million or more, $1.5 million or more, at any given time, they might only be looking with one buyer. We're going to help you get that home at a good price. We're going to help you realize that solar home savings that could be well over $100,000, and we can help you capture. If you're doing some of the work going to the listing agents directly, we can help you capture the entire buyer commission. Well, you're going to share it with me, or if necessary, because you don't know the area and you also need a buyer's agent, I'll help you find a great buyer's agent. I've done this for relatives and friends. I have a little system, and we'll educate the buyer on what you need, and we'll get a referral fee from the buyer's agent. Normally a buyer's fee might be 2 to 3%. We'll capture half of that. So when you're working, and that's how you can put me on your team to help get a great deal, and I will see to it that in most circumstances, whatever I'm going to make, I'll help you make that too. So if you're buying a big enough home, we might even be able to get you like a free battery in the garage, so you can take the sun in during the day. You can store it, and you can put it into a solar car. So I think you should go to winnerscheck.com. You should set up an appointment. Let me just go there right now. I'm gonna show you what it looks like, and this should be fine. Winnerscheck.com. Okay, so this is I have a bunch of Winners Check websites. So if you go to another one, it's still me, most likely, unless someone else starts taking Winners Check. But my idea is, before you buy or sell, you check, and if the Winners Check. I used to play tennis. I was fascinated by those big winners checks from way back in the day. So now here you just click on this, and you get your access now. So you go, you log in. This may bring me to the back end. Oh no. Okay. So I'm actually going to I think this training is better than the one I already have there. I'll go check it out. That's a long training. I don't know if it's going to be that appealing to people. And now this is where you set up your consultation with me right now. If you're watching this video, You can just go there. I don't want to set it out for days and then people cancel at the last minute. I'd like you to pick a time. If there's no time available, you can send me an email or contact me at john@winnerscheck.org. I know works. J McConnin at Gmail works. John at favoriterealestate.com works. So you set up a time. Boom. Let's say you pick 10:30. Confirm. Enter your details. And then I'm not trying to bug anybody, right? So if you don't feel like filling out some of these, that's fine. But we need your phone number because I'm going to call you, or we can Skype if you prefer Skype. I would like to know your goals, whether you're looking to buy a solar home, whether you're looking to sell a solar home or a regular home and avoid the buyer's agent's fees. I have a program for that. I think it's awesome. I have fallback plans. I'm a lawyer. I don't ever want someone to say, you ripped me off. You said it was going to work. I have an out at all times. It's a plan B, whether you're, like for instance, if we don't find you a solar home, we'll refer you to the listing. If you want to say do the work, I'll refer you to any listing agents and we'll split the fee. I'll refer you to a buyer's agent. It doesn't have to be for solar. I always have a plan B. I want happy people. I only like working with, I want you to be happy. There's no reason to be kind of antagonistic. I have no problem communicating. The biggest problem I've seen, I get calls sometimes when agents screw up, is communication. And a lot of times that's because of a lack of confidence in what they're doing or the process, or they made a mistake and don't know how to work their way out of it with the truth. You're not going to run into those problems. We're going to represent each other. Well, if I don't know something, I say I don't know. I've been doing this since 2004 as a realtor. I've been doing real estate law since '91. I'm a solar home owner now. This is my bailiwick. This is my wheelhouse. I may make a mistake, and I'm going to tell you. The good thing about real estate, if you're buyers, you've got you've got literally 17 to 21 outs in the buyer's contract. You've got 17 days for inspections. You've got contingencies on financing. I mean, homes are going up in value. There's like no risk to the buyers until you sign some things. And I'll tell you when that's happening. So I'd like you to fill out some of these so I have an idea whether you're looking to buy, sell, or both. And maybe you'll be thinking about things. There is one deal. If you're already signed a buyer's agreement or you've already listed your home, especially if you've listed your home, that's going to be, and you're looking to sell, that's an entirely different consult. I'd like you to put that in there because I'll call you right away and just say, what are you hoping to do? And if you're looking to get out of your contract, because I get a lot of these, I'm going to say, look, I'm willing to review it for an hour and talk to you within that hour. I'm going to charge you $375 an hour, or you might be able to talk me down to $325, but normally it's $375 an hour. I'll review it for 45 minutes. I'll call you up and I'll tell you options. But I want you to know that if the agent is happy to work with unhappy clients and their broker is happy to work with unhappy clients, and you've signed one of these agreements, there's a good chance you're going to get stuck. So if you want it out, I've helped people get out, but I can tell you, many times I tell people they're going to have to go through arbitration, or they're going to have to do something else that's quite expensive, and you're probably just going to stick out your time. But not always, and that's why I charge, and that's why I'll review it, and that's why we'll have a consult. So I'd like to just bypass the expectation that's going to be a 20, 30-minute situation if you've had that. So that's why I'd like you to fill out those things. You don't have to fill them all. And again, this works even if you're not buying a solar home. I will save you a lot of money if you're willing to do the work, and if you're not, I will refer you a buyer's agent, and we'll split the fee. And you'll have an attorney on your team reviewing the file, helping you, giving you coaching or consulting. If you're in California and you have a problem with your lender or the seller or an inspector or escrow, there's times a lawyer can help you achieve your goals rather quickly with a quick email. So really, I feel like this is a no-brainer. Set up that consult. We'll achieve your goals. Let's say you want to capture almost all of that fee and you're willing to do the work. I can set up a program where you pay me some cash. If you qualify, we work together. I trust that you're not going to misrepresent me if I give you my referral forms, but you're willing to do the work. I'll be like, great, cool consult. I'm glad you can take this any way you want. So here's my forms. And the only thing is that, so here's the fee today. And my only other fee is because there's probably going to be some coordination and closing. I'm going to want to review the escrow docs and your closing docs to make sure we're getting paid. I'm going to have to talk to them about how you're going to credit the money. So I would want another $300. I'll just call it $300 even. I was going to say my hourly fee. Another $300 to make sure that it closes well. So for $1,300 right now, that's normally $2,000 to $3,000. But because you're going in through this, and you're going to do the work, it'll be $1,000 to start, $300, and boom, you're going to keep all the fee. Now, let's say you don't do this. Let's say you want to work with a realtor. Well, I'll just refer your file out, and you'll get more than $1,300 back. So you'll cover my fee, and you'll still make money. So it's almost risk-free if you're really buying a home. Same thing with selling. I have the same sort of programs. So now, this is where I normally forget to do. If you have questions or comments, please leave them down below. Let's say you're not going to work with me, but you found this informative. I'd like to develop. My Facebook audience is coming along nicely. I'm starting to get 25, 30 views on my videos. YouTube, we're a little behind. I would like you to just tell people this comment, even if you just say, hey, the first 10, 15 minutes are worth watching. After that, John's talking about why it's good to work with him. Awesome. Hit that like. I love questions. You put some questions in there. Give me a few days to respond. We're good. Say, hey, John, I'd like to know more about your course and joining it and things like that. Put that in the comments and I'll explain. I'd like to see another video on this topic. If enough of you say free public webinar, free weekly webinar on home buying or selling, write in the comments, hey, I'd like to see the weekly home buyer Q&A with an attorney. I'd like to see the home seller Q&A with an attorney. That'd be fun and help me with more content. So thanks. Talk to you later. Enjoy your weekend. I'm planning to do, well, I'm struggling with this. This doesn't even matter to you, but I'm either going to do another home selling video, or I'm about to go for a run. So we'll see what we pick in the next 10, 15 minutes. All right. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.